Hello, hello, welcome.
Call.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome, welcome. How's everyone feeling?
Good.
Are you doing 2 sessions today, Allison?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You're like, I need all of it. Well, this one is going to be super gentle.
Well,
So
that's what I thought. I thought it would be a good pairing from earlier.
yeah, totally. Yeah, we were really like sweating it up earlier this morning.
Hence why I'm in different clothes right now. I showered, changed, so.
Good deal. Good deal. How's everybody else feeling? Good? On this Wednesday, thumbs up? Yes? Awesome. So yeah, it's up to you if you want to show yourself on camera. I encourage it. There's a community vibe. And even if you just want to have like just a portion of you on camera, and that's fine too. I like to like encourage you guys to like give high fives and things like that. And so it's just nice to have you actually on camera and you can enjoy that piece too. So I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody. Thank you for coming today. I sent everybody the email. There was like 40 some odd people that had signed up, but only 7 people showed up, which I'm totally cool with. I love smaller classes because then I don't feel so overwhelmed and I can see everybody. I can actually see everyone. So as they come in, I'll let them in. So whoever ends up coming in. But I'm Tiffany. I am a fat yoga instructor. And today is just a community gentle class. This is meant for beginners, all levels really. And we're gonna take it super easy today. So let's begin just seated. Let's just begin seated for today. And you have blocks, bolster, blanket, something to prop you up. I would say go grab that and let's make your pose comfy. So sit on the bolster or blanket, lifting up the hips a little bit. And then I don't play music, or I'm not right now. I'm hoping in September I'll begin playing music. I'm not sure what the rights are for Zoom yet, and I have to look into it, but I would like to start playing music. And then if you've got blocks, you can just set them aside for right now. But if you like to use them for anything, they'll be there. But today, yeah, it's a gentle class. So let's begin seated for whoever just came in. And let's think about crossing our legs or maybe just having them extended. And then thinking about shoulders away from ears, like relaxing your shoulders. It's something that we forget to do. So doing that. And then just taking your time here to like check in with yourself. So closing your eyes or having one of those super soft magic eye gazes where we're staring at those posters from the 90s. I could never see them, but you know what I'm talking about with the blurriness, maybe everything goes double. So if you like to have your eyes open, that's always an option instead of closing your eyes. So let's try to be present here, be present in our bodies. So that'll be the focus for today, is to be present. So as we inhale, maybe thinking about how we feel. How do we feel? Where do we feel it? That's where we're going here. How do we feel? Where do we feel it? This can be physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. Wherever you're feeling something, let's hop into it. So maybe you just got done fighting with your kid or your spouse or yourself. Sometimes I like trip over my own feet and I'm like, Jesus, Tiffany. So like whatever negative self-talk isn't going on, or negative talk in general, like let's like let it go. And maybe try to like just be present in this moment. So if you're feeling from the past, we can always just let that go. So welcome to whoever just came in. I'm muting everybody. We're beginning seated. So you can grab a bolster, blanket, and just get comfy cozy here. And we're tapping into the present. So as we do this, be thinking about sealing our lips, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. and being present. So we were tapping into emotional, spiritual, maybe physical. Maybe your head hurts and you're not like really in it. So let's take some deep breaths with that and see if we can allow that pain to go away from our head. Sounds crazy, but actually meditation does help with migraines. So taking some deep breaths here. And as we inhale, maybe begin to lengthen the inhales. Exhale, begin to lengthen the exhales. And as we do this and we're flowing, inhaling and exhaling, we can come to a count. So it might be 4, 5, or 6. And if we want to breathe together, you can follow along. I'll guide you through a couple rounds. Let's take a deep inhale together. And then exhale, wash it out. And then inhale through the nose. 2, 3, 4. Exhale through the nose. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. So finding this ujjayi or pranayama life force breath. If you've been in my classes, you know what I'm talking about. So essentially it's the pace of the breath that we're talking about. Hi, welcome. You can go ahead and find a seat. Make sure you're muted. Welcome, welcome. And I think I just got your email, Miss Tails. So hopefully you found it okay. Apologies for not putting it right there presently. All right, let's tap in, feel into our bodies. We're breathing. Deep inhales here, thinking I am, and then exhale, thinking present. Inhale, I am. Exhale, present. So as we breathe through this, thinking I am present, I am here in the present moment. I won't be focusing on anything that's stressing me out, coming to the front of my mind. I want to be here in the present and feel what I'm feeling in this moment. So just breathe into that, feel into that. And we'll begin in just a couple rounds of breath. So take like 2 or 3 more rounds of breath at your own pace. And begin to slowly draw circles with your nose. So inhale, maybe rock back, exhale, rock forward. And actually, let me just say, we're making, like circling the neck here. It's funny, I never thought I would have to say that and then go ahead and go in the other direction. But I had a client who was not sure how to draw circles with her nose. So I had to show her. And so I should be clarifying, honestly, because it is a confusing conundrum to draw circles with your nose. She was literally trying to like make her nose move independently from her head. And it's just like, my nose doesn't draw circles. So totally my fault. That's okay. We all are learning here. We're all practicing. So no judgment, but we had a good chuckle. And so come to center, inhale, bring the arms up, and then exhale, let's reach forward, bring your hands to the earth. And just feel that stretch in your back body. So maybe we lean to the right, maybe we lean to the left, and get the stretch all in the places that you want the stretch. So let's be present here. Feel into the body. On the next exhale, go ahead and come back up. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, let your right hand come to the mat, and let's find a side stretch. Thinking about that left hip really making contact with the mat. And then on that next exhale, we come back up to center. Both arms come up. Exhale, left hand comes down and rock over to the right or to the left. I'm like rocking to the left with my right hand, so then I'm thinking right. And then go ahead and come back to center and bring both hands behind, and we can shift our legs. Inhale, both arms come up, and then exhale, allow them to come forward, where if your right leg was in front this time, your left leg is in front. So just stretching out the hips slowly, chin to chest, feel into the stretch. This should feel good. And we'll be working on hips today. I feel like that's pretty universal. Everybody loves a good hip stretch. And then go ahead and push yourself all the way to the front. And let's find tabletop. So move your bolster out of the way. Plant your hands onto the mat. Spread your fingers and allow your knees to come right below your hips. Inhale, allow the belly to come down. We lift our head up. Our chest comes through. Exhale, we round the back. Tuck chin to chest. And breathe. Inhale, we find cow. Exhale, we find cat. And we can roll through this. So if you want to maybe find some barrel rolls here or little S curves, or maybe we want to just turn our head and look to our right hip as we look right. Same thing for the left. So wherever you are, just be present in your body and give your body what it needs here. Like my shoulders are tight, so maybe I like to stay in cat for a couple of breaths. Or maybe my hips are tight and I'll lean back to the right or to the left and feel that stretch. So lots of ways we can move here. Let's move our knees a little bit more forward and bring our hands back. And this is going to be dependent upon like the flexibility of your wrists, but let's just stretch them out a little bit. So if you take your wrists and your hands and just tuck them down, so fingers pointed down, and like the top of the hands come to the mat, and this is like close to your knees, okay? And then you can stay here and then just slowly begin to rock back, and I mean a millimeter, and just feel into the wrist stretch. So if you have carpal tunnel or any type of sensitivity in your wrist, gout, stuff like that, this could be a really good wrist stretch. My mom used to get gout all the time. Like people who don't consume, I think people who consume too much pork get gout. I forget. So take some deep breaths here. And go ahead and release, shake it out. And this time, shake it out enough to where it's like you see like the little blurry parts of your hands. Like really shake it out. You can kind of hear your fingers flick. And like listen to your body. If this is painful, then you don't shake as hard. So doing this actually stimulates things in your wrists. So do this for another couple of breaths. It's kind of crazy. And then you can kind of flop. We look so crazy on the screen. I just looked up at us. We look awesome, guys. Good job. Awesome job. All right. And then shake it off. And then just notice the energy that you just brought to your hands. Your hands should be kind of tingling. It's like all this brand new fresh blood and energy in your hands. We can even like scoop it up and bring your hands together like this and let it waft over our face. I know I'm woo-woo, but like go with me here. Feel the energy you just created. I think it's awesome. Feeling it. All right, let's squeeze our fists really tight and spread our fingers really tight. Squeeze and spread. Sounds really bad. Squeezing and spreading. You know what? It's like we're making a sandwich. We're squeezing the mustard and we're spreading it on the bread. Just gonna make myself crack up over here. All right, come back to center, and let's find a standing position. So let's come to standing. Nothing fancy here. We can shake it out, and then high five your neighbor. Woohoo! We laughed at some dirty jokes of me told by accident. Yay! Let's circle our arms all the way up to the top. Press our palms together, and exhale. We fold all the way back down. Feel into the stretch. This is great for your hips. You can take your feet as wide as the mat. And then I like to like widen my knees, like widen them, allow my belly to hang, and then straighten my legs. So that's what I mean when I'm talking about allowing that belly to hang. Like mine does stick out. Like maybe in pictures it doesn't look like it, but it does. So Give yourself some space here. Feel into it. You can bend one knee then the other, or maybe even just lean forward onto your big toes and take a deep breath. Then slowly, slowly roll all the way up to standing. Let your head come up last. And let's shake it out. Shake it out. Bring your hands to your side and let's find mountain. So plant your feet onto the mat. Hands come to the sides, shoulders down and back. Think about if your booty is back, we're tucking our pelvis and we're bending knees slightly. So it's like creating that natural curve in our spine, okay? So hands are off out to the side and it's like, should feel like you're weightless. I love this feeling. It's like we can be weightless without water, right? So feeling into it, maybe even closing your eyes or having a super soft gaze and just like, how do we feel? Where do we feel it? Am I present? Am I present? Let's bring it back to the moment, the present moment. And then come back to center, open your eyes. Let's circle arms all the way back up to the top. Press our palms together and exhale, we fold all the way back down. Feel into the hips. Inhale, we rise and find our half lift. So here, engage your core, stick your booty out, and your chest lifts, but it's parallel to the ground. Relax your neck, so look down. You don't have to be like this. Your head can be lifted, but not like this. See, we don't want that. We want just a natural, neutral spine here. And then exhale, we fold all the way. Inhale, we circle arms all the way back up. Press our palms together, we go right back into it. Forward fold. Inhale, we rise and find our half lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, circle arms all the way back up to the top. One more time, press our palms together. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, we rise and find our half lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, we circle arms and bring them all the way back up to the top. Press our palms together and exhale, come back to center. Take some deep breaths here. Check in with yourself, check in with your neighbor, give them all big thumbs ups. Maybe like a fist bump, like what, you're awesome, you get some love, you get some presents. Whatever you need to do. Take a sip of water and then let's find our knees onto the mat and do a couple of hip openers. So if you have something for your knees or your knees tend to be sensitive, highly recommend blanket, pillow, bolster, something like that. So first knee to go to the ground will be the left. If you have blocks, you can use them here. And then bring them to the front of the mat like that. Plant your left knee into the bolster. And then right knee comes forward kind of like in between the two blocks. And you can keep your hands on the hips and find this low lunge. And make it dynamic. You can press into the lunge and then press into the foot, and then bend the knee, feel into the lunge, press into the foot. So it's like finding your edge, kind of going a little bit far. Oops, that's too far, go back. And then when you kind of find it, you can bring your hands to your blocks, or you can keep them on your hips or a light touch on your thigh. So what we don't want is like leaning like this, all the weight on your thigh, because then it takes the stretch out of this back leg. So chest is lifted, hands to hips, or a light touch onto the thigh, or hands on blocks. And just feel into your stretch. You should feel this in the back of, like in the front of the back leg. And just take a deep breath here. And then bring both blocks to the inside of the right leg and heel toe the right leg all the way off the mat. So maybe your heel stays on and the top of the foot comes off. And then let's find lizard. So here in lizard, we can be on blocks, or we can bring hands all the way down to the mat. So wherever you're at in your lizard is great. So if you don't have blocks, you can also just be on your fists if that bothers your hands or your wrists. And you don't have to be as far forward. You can just be a little bit forward. So wherever you're at with your lizard is perfect. So be there, feel into it. You're really just trying to open up the hip here. So many back problems come from tight hips. Just kind of informs the rest of your body to like be tight. And so when you open up your hips, then you kind of then end up stretching out your back at the same time and opening up your back. So it's kind of cool. Take a deep breath here. And then on that exhale, begin to like, you can just take both blocks a little bit further back and then swing around that right leg or both hands, and then switch whatever side you're working on. So if you have a blanket or bolster or something you're working with, line that up for the other side. So both blocks come to the front, and then sink that right knee into the mat or into the bolster, and then left comes forward. And then I did it again. This morning I did it too. I have like 3 pairs of leggings that have seams on the knees, and I'm like, keep pulling, like I keep wearing them, but like I do so much work on my knees. That sounds terrible. I end up like doing a lot of poses on my knees. That's awful too. Okay, so anyways, the seams end up bothering my knees, and I need to just toss these out. But don't you have a hard time tossing something out just because like it doesn't work for one thing, but then that's the thing that you bought them for? It's kind of annoying. So I don't know. I'm like, I have mixed emotions. I keep cleaning things out. Like I threw away a bra that was like 5 years old the other day. Never worn it. It wasn't my size, but it was gonna eventually be my size. You know what I'm talking about? That kind of bra. It's actually a sports bra. And I tossed it because I was like, you know what? I'm sick of living in this like world where we're constantly like thinking, oh, I'll eventually get to this size. Go ahead and find your lizard, bring both blocks on the inside of your left foot, and then begin to lean forward. So hopefully my talking is distracting you from like all the uncomfortableness of the lizard. I like talking when I'm like, well, I like when I'm in a class to be talked to like as a group, because then I feel like I'm listening versus like trying to like breathe in the pose. But yeah, I did do that. I tossed out a sports bra I'd had forever. So I was pretty proud of myself. You know, when you hold on to something for 5 years, it then all of a sudden becomes valuable in a different way. And you're like, wow, this is harder than I thought it would be. And then once it's gone, I'm like, wow, why was it so hard? Go ahead and walk your feet back, walk your blocks back, and swing your left leg around and just kind of sit back onto your heels and just notice the difference. Like, oh, maybe my hips feel a little better. You can move your blocks off to the side, move your bolster blanket off to the side, and let's find our backs. So on our backs, we can bend our knees and plant our feet on the mat, and then just begin gently rocking our knees from side to side, allowing that low back to feel a stretch. And then let's find a little bit of a twist. So extend our right leg, left leg comes into chest, right hand comes behind the left knee, and then help it over to the right. Extend the left arm off to the side, and then just take some deep breaths here. So feel into the stretch. Let's be present here. Feel into your body. And then unroll and bring that left hip all the way back down to the mat. Slowly, slowly. Allow both feet to plant on the mat and realign your hips for the other side. So extend your left leg. Right knee comes into chest. Left arm grabs right behind right knee and then helps it over to the left. Extend your right hand out to the side. Just take some deep breaths here. And then begin to unwind and bring that right hip all the way back down. Planting both feet onto the mat, and then let's find reclined butterfly. So bring the soles of the feet to touch, knees open wide. If this is pinchy on your back, let's plant feet onto the the earth and allow your knees to rotate in. So it's like a little triangle. So just finding some deep breaths here. Feeling into our hips, allowing them to open one more time. Now, if this is your jam and you're like, I'm here, I'm in it, I'm present, this is my Shavasana pose, then you can stay here. If you need something like a blanket bolster underneath your calves or your head, then adjust yourself. Find whatever you need and get yourself situated so you can be comfortable. We'll be here for at least 4 minutes. So just find this pose that feels really good for you. You could extend your legs or extend your arms up above, or you can have your hands down by your sides. So here in your Shavasana, let's be as present as we possibly can. Remind ourselves this is our practice and we deserve to finish and seal in the practice. And just taking time to breathe here in our practice, and we'll have 4 minutes in silence for our Shavasana. Tap back into the breath. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Wiggle fingers and toes. Circle out wrists and ankles. And take both arms overhead for a full body stretch. Let it feel sweet. Roll over onto one side. Let your heart melt for a breath. Be present in this moment too. And then begin to push your torso up and find a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands to your heart center Tuck your chin and close your eyes. And then just be present here and take a deep breath in and exhale. And just thank yourself for showing up today, for finding that intention valuable throughout the entire practice. Thank you for being a part of this community. You are awesome and valuable, and I appreciate you so much. And bring your thumbs to your third eye. The divine light inside of me honors the divine light inside of each and every one of you. Namaste. Mwah. That was awesome. Okay, so high five your neighbors. Good job, good job. We finished. Awesome. Thank you guys. I will see you later. Bye.